Hey everyone, Coach Eric here. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel here. And I've got one of my elite players that I coach. Brandon Farney has just signed a Division I letter of intent to start playing college golf next year. Worked very hard to get to that point. Here's what we were working on here in the last session. Is you can see we've got some alignment sticks on the ground and one sticking out to represent shaft plane. One white one on the ground is the target line. Blue one in between his toes and his feet just gives us a visual for alignment for hips, feet, and shoulders, which are his body lines. And the one in the ground just matches the shaft angle at address. Now, I've drawn a red line up using V1 to indicate the starting point for the shaft. So as we start to take the club away, I want to point out a few things. Here's how I analyze swing plane and how we can get Brandon to be sure that he's slotting the club on the downswing. Is as you start to take the club away, what I really like what Brandon does is he's a one-piece takeaway here. As he starts to move the club away, his simple movement is his right shoulder blade moving towards his spine, which is the center. As he starts to move it away, that movement of his shoulder blade just turning towards the center takes the club back about 3 or 4 feet, which gets his arms in a beautiful extended position here. Okay? So excellent position here. Shoulders are starting to turn and tilt. And at this point, he's going to allow the club to travel up. And it's at this point around position number 3 or P3 where the lead arm is parallel to the ground, where I like to draw another line on the shaft. And now the space in between the original line and the line I've just drawn on the shaft at P3 creates this slot that you'll see in between here. Now what we're hoping is, if a player's on plane, which you're going to see Brandon is, you should see him slot this. Get the red back on there. Okay, on the way back down. Okay, so as Brandon takes it up into the position number 4, shoulders have maintained their tilt, their inclination to the ground. His spine is rotating and extending. He's got a beautiful position here. And as we get into P4, one of the other things that I like to see is his lead arm is across his shoulder line, and you'll see that his lead arm is in a parallel position to those shaft plane lines that we drew and the alignment stick that's in the ground. Now here's the cool part. As he starts to transition down into the ball, he's going to start his transition by adding a little more flex to his trail leg and allowing the arms to drop as he makes a lateral shift towards the target. And as he gets to right about here, right before the delivery position, you can see, and I'll grab a different color here, you can see that Brandon has slotted that club nicely in between those 2 red lines. And as he delivers into P6, which is position 6, delivery, you can see that his trail arm and trail elbow are on that plane line. The club head is in line with his hands. His hips are opening, and his trail foot is in a banked position. Okay, we've worked very hard on this banked position, Brandon and I, to maintain the space coming through. Okay? Now, at impact, Brandon brings it right back on the original plane line and through to the exit. And up to a beautifully controlled finish into what we call the umbrella finish. Okay, and you can see where that ball is. This ball went dead straight, right at his target. And his TrackMan face to path is about negative 1.5 to negative 2.0, which is a slight draw. As of late, his ball flights have been so tight that it's hard to tell if they're drawing or fading, which is a nice problem to have. So look out for good things from this kid as he grows through the college years. The Brandon Farney, Cal State Fullerton Titans.